Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a peculiar pattern that has to do with two different types of technical indicators that has a very good track record of predicting uptrends and downtrends. This is a pattern that I have talked about before, but the only place I've ever discussed this before was in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy over there, so this is the first time I'm ever going to be showing YouTube this pattern. I think you guys are really going to like it. If you do like today's video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Guys, the YouTube gods, they've told me that if we don't get like 50,000 likes across all the videos in the month of February, that they're going to actually make me watch YouTube Rewind again, and I'm kind of scared of that. So make sure you hit that like button. It really helps out the channel when you do that. And if you haven't already, you know, consider subscribing. We make daily cryptocurrency content. I wouldn't want you to miss any of it. And guys, also remember that it is your support that keeps this channel running. So I just want to thank all of you up front for those of you who have just joined the first cohort, the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, and those of you who watch the video every day. I just want to say thank you because, you know, doing YouTube like this professionally, this was always my dream, and it's something that's finally come true thanks to you guys. I just want to go ahead and put that here at the beginning of the video. Thank you guys. But anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, one of the reasons I love this pattern is because it's simple and it's powerful. And while in real life, if somebody is simple and powerful, they're probably a meathead that lives at the gym. In technical analysis, if a technical indicator is simple and it's powerful, that means it's important, unlike in real life. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you one of those. Anyway, guys, the pattern I'm going to be showing you in today's video, like I said, is normally reserved for our students of the Academy. Here, I'm going to be showing you the Heikin-Ashi plus the MACD. Now, that seems like a weird matchup. Why would you pair the Heikin-Ashi with the MACD? Well, guys, you already know MACD is extremely powerful. There are many reasons. One, of the way that it's calculated. Two, how many people follow it. And three, the historical precedent that the MACD has with predicting and sometimes being a delayed predictive indicator of a rally, otherwise known as a confirming indicator. I promise you guys, I do know what I'm talking about. It's just really early. That's what coffee's for, after all. Anyway, Heikin-Ashi and MACD, guys. The reason that the Heikin-Ashi is so powerful here is because if you guys don't know what the Heikin-Ashi is, it's another way of calculating price action on Bitcoin that gives you a better understanding of what the trends actually look like. As you guys can see, there's a lot more green in a row and a lot more red in a row. There's not so much kind of jumping from red to green as you would see on a normal candlestick chart here. We're going to see a bunch of green and red and green and red and green and red. And it's going to switch back and forth every day or two. But on Heikin-Ashi, you have these trends that tend to continue for a week, 2 weeks. We're on the daily chart, so it continues for a while. The reason that's important is because the Heikin-Ashi smooths out all of those random variances and shows you what the actual trend is. And the reason that's so powerful is because when you have the MACD, which is designed to tell you about trend reversals, and you have the candlesticks altered to show you what the trends are, when those two line up, if you look at it historically, they almost always give you valid signals. Let me show you what I mean. And I'm serious, guys. This is such a powerful technical indicator combo that I've never once, to my remembrance, talked about it on YouTube. But I do want to show you today because of what it's telling us in the market at the moment. As you guys can see, we saw a green cross on the actual Heikin-Ashi where we saw Bitcoin go from red to green on Heikin-Ashi. If you guys know how Heikin-Ashi works, when we don't have any candles down here, we don't have any lower shadows, any lower wicks, however you want to call that, that is a pretty bullish trend, and that's what we're seeing right now as well. Right after we saw that reversal on the Heikin-Ashi and we saw Heikin-Ashi turn to green and we saw a green uptrend, we saw a bullish cross right over here on the MACD. Boom, Bitcoin has a week and a half uptrend. Let's look back a little further into history though. Let's look at downtrends. Let's see how Bitcoin's Heikin-Ashi turned from red right here, and very soon thereafter, we saw a red cross on the MACD. Boom, Bitcoin falls for 2 weeks. History has a tendency of showing that these two indicators work very well together. Let's see right here. We saw some red, Heikin-Ashi, and a red cross on the MACD. Boom. Bullish cross, green on the Heikin-Ashi. They normally line up within 2 to 3 candlesticks of each other. Boom, uptrend. It's a very easy way of discerning what the actual move in the market is. And guys, the reason this is important is because if you're looking at the normal candlestick charts and you're not looking at any technical indicators, it can be very difficult to figure out what you're looking at and discern the actual trend of the market. Which direction is the market going? How strong is the trend? Is, in this case, a bearish trend reversal on its way? It's hard to figure that stuff out if you have all of this data being thrown at you. When you're an experienced trader, it's a lot easier, but it's far easier to do it if you're smoothing the chart out with something like the Heikin-Ashi. And that's why I love it so much, guys, because the MACD is a very good indicator of telling us when a major reversal is coming on our current time frame without Heikin-Ashi. But if you combine Heikin-Ashi, then what they do, they cancel each other's fall false signals out. That's why they're so cool. Because out here on the Heikin-Ashi and MACD charts, guys, if you see a bullish cross on the MACD, but the Heikin-Ashi hasn't done anything, or vice versa, the Heikin-Ashi does something and the MACD doesn't agree with it, you're generally not going to see the trend go through. You generally need both of those, the MACD looking bullish and the Heikin-Ashi looking bullish, for a new trend to start. If you don't see that, it's probably not going to happen. So it's a really good way of knocking out false signals. If you guys are ever looking for a way to tell where an uptrend is and where a downtrend is, I encourage you guys, look at the Heikin-Ashi, look at the MACD. Bring these two technical indicators together because they make a power combo, guys. It's really, really important. And speaking of, what does this actually say for Bitcoin right now? Well, as you can see, we saw a bullish cross on the MACD and we saw a green shift up here on the Heikin-Ashi, which is indicating Bitcoin's in an uptrend. We have reason to believe that Bitcoin is in an uptrend and that we can expect that uptrend to continue because there's no lower shadows up here on these three last candlesticks. We see that Bitcoin's MACD is bullish and diverging bullish. That's an important point. And as well, guys, as you can see, Bitcoin is continuing to try and make higher highs. We're sitting up here around $9,850. Bitcoin is trying to run to $10,000. So guys, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go down in the comment section down below and tell me if you think Bitcoin will be trading at $10,000 in the next 3 to 4 days. I personally think it's going to. I feel like Bitcoin's going to have a breakout. Here's what I actually think is going to happen, guys. I think Bitcoin's going to have a breakout. It's going to rally up to $10,000, maybe a little bit above it. Sometimes we see that happening. I'm charting and my face is covering the screen. Bitcoin's going to get up to 10,000 or just a little bit above, and then it's going to reject. Why do I say that? But I do also know the power of the level of $10,000. We've seen that level in play many times in the last 2.5 years, and when Bitcoin is up around it, you know, it tends to be an important level, and it tends to have a lot of resistance built around it. People tend to put their sell orders at 999,999. So, guys, it is possible that Bitcoin just shoots straight through $10,000 in the same way that we just shot through $6,000 a few months ago. As you can see over here, guys, when Bitcoin got to $6,000, we just kind of broke through it and just kept going, and it didn't really care. But Bitcoin was in a lot more bullish state back then. The mainstream media had its grip on Bitcoin at the moment, and we don't really have that right now on Bitcoin. So be careful of just getting into a long position right now because, guys, we're at a crucial decision point. I've said it many times. I want to see Bitcoin get above and stay above 10,000, like up to $10,500, $11,000. For right now, though, guys, there's a very big chance that Bitcoin rejects at 10K or around that level. I think we're going to go above it, but I don't know how long we'll be up there. That's what I'm trying to say. And guys, before we wrap the video out, there is one thing that I want to talk about as well, and that's something that I learned recently. You guys know I'm a kind of a type A personality. I love learning new things. I love trying to become the best person I can be. I want to be as successful as I possibly can be. A lot of you guys probably don't know that I'm 19. But I've had a lot of success in my life, and I've been blessed with that, but I've also worked for it, and I'm not going to shy away from that. And one of the things that I've learned in that work is just how to achieve that success. Once you have actually done something, it's easy, and by the way, I'm not saying like I've made it or anything. I'm not saying that in the slightest, but with the marginal success that I've had in my life, I've realized how you actually become successful, and I think you guys will get some value out of hearing what I have to say on it. I was coming out of the gym the other day, and I was thinking, how do you actually calculate success? How do you predictably calculate success in anything? How do you do that? Because that's an equation that I think we all want to know. How do we become successful at something? And it just clicked. I wasn't even really thinking about it that much and just came into my head. And what it is this. If you guys want to be successful at something, I don't care if you want to be successful at trading crypto, at doing YouTube, cinematography, photography, basketball, sports, you want to become the president, however you define success, it's a very important part of the equation to define success for you. But if you want to get to that point, here's what you need to do. You need to multiply working hard by working smart by working long. The reason I say that is because if you're working really smart and you work really long, which means you're working really smart, you're doing everything you should be doing, and you do it for like 10 years, but you only work 15 minutes a day, you're never going to get success, because if you multiply 0 by anything, you're going to get 0, and your success rate is going to be 0. On the other hand, if you don't work smart and you do what I could have done, which was get a job at a bookstore and work there for the last 2 years, no offense to anyone that's done that, but if I define success as making money to help my friends, it's not going to cut it. I could work 40 hours a week for 2.5 years, and I wouldn't have made very much money at all because I wasn't working smart. I made a smart decision to go into cryptocurrency and YouTube. And the same thing is true about working long. If you're on the right track and you're pursuing it and you're working at 16 hours a day, but you stop after a month because you got dissuaded and you didn't think you could do it, or one of those things in your head says, oh, you're not even capable of doing this thing that you're trying to set out to do, then you're never going to get there. If you work hard, you put the hours in every single day, you work smart, you do what you know you need to do, and you look at your competition, you see how they became successful, and you do what they do, and you do it even better, and you work long, you put in the hours, the days, the months, the weeks, the years, the decades sometimes it takes to become successful at something, and you can get it. You can have anything you put your mind to. You just got to work for it. So guys, please remember that, because it is a very, very important part of your life. If you want satisfaction in your life, you're going to need success in some way. And I don't know what success means to you, but success to me means making a lot of money, using that money to help a lot of people, growing my reach so I'm able to motivate, inspire, and teach people, and at the end of the day, make the world a better place. So guys, that's my little spiel here at the end of the video. Sorry the video wasn't that long. Going to be a very busy Saturday for me. I have a lot to get done today. A lot of running around, going on a motorcycle ride later. You know, if any of you guys ride motorcycles, we should meet up and have a ride sometime. That'd be pretty fun. I live in Florida. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, I do first, as always, want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.